one you, and that is your superpower. You can't F that up. However, you can get stuck. That's why I created this space called Unstuck Yourself with Crystal Simmons. Unstuck Yourself is about figuring out what has you feeling frustrated, isolated, or depleted of energy so that you're able to unstuck yourself on your journey through life when you don't know how to move forward. Unstuck yourself in your career that no longer excites you. Unstuck yourself with negative thoughts that seem to be doing cartwheels in your head all day and night. I don't have the answers. You do. You always have. I'm providing the time, space, and grace for you to reconnect to that knowing. I'm Crystal Simmons, and I'm so happy you made it here. So let's not waste another second and start now. Man, y'all are dope as F, like seriously. And y'all want to know why y'all so dope? Like, y'all keep showing up and showing out by sending me feedback, commenting, giving me constructive criticism, which helps the show get better. You email me, you're providing me suggestions, you're hitting me up on Instagram. Like, I have had thoughts of, what am I doing? Like, who actually wants to listen to this? And y'all just keep showing off. So thank you, like literally, for riding along with me and taking the time to listen to Unstuck Yourself with Crystal Simmons. If this is your first time, or maybe it's your third time, because we do have a trailer, and we have a full episode. What? I really, 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 really appreciate you being here. If it is your first or third time being here, I want you to know that you're right on time. Where you are today is exactly where you're supposed to be. So take a moment to celebrate that. It might be Tuesday for you listening to this. If it is, toot toot. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know what that means. But we don't have to wait until Tuesday to celebrate that. So I'm going to celebrate all of y'all for everything, all three of you. Toot Toot Tuesday is a live that I do on Instagram every Tuesday at 12:15 Eastern Standard Time. If you don't know, now you do. If you have had a win of you having like a hard conversation with your boss or your spouse, and you have been putting that off for the longest time until like guilt starts sinking in, you started becoming really, really irritated, and that ish became too heavy to hold, message me, because I want to celebrate you. And who knows, like you might be inspiring someone else who is listening to the show. If you give me permission, I'm able to share your story. You could literally be changing someone else's life. And that's huge. And that's what this podcast is for. Please email me. Send it to Crystal at crystalclearpurposes, S on the end, .com. I would urge you to change your life by inspiring someone else to do the same. That exchange of energy and intentions is just unmatched. So send your win so I can shout you out on a future episode. I didn't know what stuck meant, so I looked the shit up. Vocabulary.com describes it as stuck describes something that's frozen or fixed in one place and can't be moved. If your foot gets stuck in the mud, it means you can't get your foot out of it. The lid of a jar can be stuck and your car can get stuck in traffic. Either way, the thing that's stuck isn't going anywhere. That is literally the definition. So, is that helpful by any means? If you look at something frozen or something that's in mud or traffic, it might be stuck momentarily, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be stuck forever. And we're much like that. I have determined that there are certain steps that we can take to unstuck ourselves. And luckily, they all start with the letter A, so hopefully it'll be easier for you to remember. Having awareness. Oh, that's the first one, just in case you were wondering. Awareness. Having a conversation with a friend recently. We hadn't spoken in a minute, and I shared with him where I was in my corporate job. For those who have listened to the trailer and the first episode, I shared a little bit about that, and I'll probably go more into detail, but I didn't want to bore y'all with all those details. But in my corporate job, I was stuck in thinking that I can only do the things in that job title. Who feels the same? Or maybe this is your moment of awareness that you didn't even recognize. So let's say you currently are a teacher. You're like, I can only teach kids. I can only teach teenagers. that is my role. My job is to teach. There are so many skills you picked up along the way in that role that are transferable. And we might have heard that saying before. I'm a former instructor, teacher at the School of Imaging. Not only did I enlighten the students, not only did I set the stage or the space for the kids to ask questions or kind of pause or ask their classmates, I also helped to manage their schedule, like a counselor to them, providing them different resources for job opportunities for them to consider taking other jobs that would lead to whatever that desired job that they wanted. So if you're a teacher and you're in your role and you're like, I'm supposed to stand in front of this podium or behind my desk and like I help students, I want you to list out everything you do from sitting down with the parents. So that's effective communication. What job doesn't require that? So you're pro at that. Got it. You also develop lesson plans because the ones they gave you, that shit don't work. So you got to be creative. You know, you creative now. Did you know that? I just put you on. Like, come on. There are so many ways that we have put ourselves in this box and we're like, this is the only thing I could do. When I was stuck in my corporate job, I told myself I can only do things that are in the medical field and I can only maybe be an instructor in the medical field. But it has to be X-ray. I don't know about anything else. I was a project manager at my former job by managing a large construction revamping of departments and so forth. That was crazy and that was just thrown on me. So not only that, I'm flexible. I roll with the punches. Like I don't just freak out. That's a skill set. Being able to do multiple things. Now, I don't suggest you do that on a regular basis, but this doesn't stop with just your job. It can also go for those who are parents. You have now titled yourself as, I am a mother, I am a father, I am a guardian to this beautiful young little soul. And you decide because of what other people have shown you or what society has deemed to be more appropriate, you have to give away everything for your kids to have a better experience in this place in their life. I hear it time and time again of parents is like, you just got to forget yourself. It's all about the kids. I want you to pause and take a moment and just think, you have been a child of a parent, right? How would you feel right now if your parents who are getting older are not really taking care of themselves because you've seen all that they had to do for you? And it also gave you a little bit of pressure of like, goodness gracious, like they are on me so much because they put everything in me. I feel like I owe them because they gave me so much. And whether you have resentment that you know about, or maybe it is not conscious to you. Most of the time, the child feels some kind of way because they didn't ask for this. They didn't ask for their parents to give them everything, to do everything for them. When all they really needed was a parent who was calm, who was patient, who understood what it felt like to be a kid and know that you're going to make mistakes and know that you will lie to them. And it's not like, oh my God, I can't believe my kids lied to me. It's like, well, yeah, you lied to your parents. Like, that's just what kids do. But allowing this child to be their own being without the parents putting so many restrictions on them. I'm not a parent, so I know some people will throw that out there. I'll throw it out there for you. Like, I get it. But that's why I decided not to be one. I know it's a bigger responsibility. I know it comes with a lot. And me and my husband decided together that was something we're not willing to do. I'm not saying forever. I don't know. But at this current moment, it's a no. The awareness of our titles at our job, at home, maybe it's being a husband. Your title as a husband requires you, because of what you've seen before, is something that's not really meshing well with who you are as a person. You can feel stuck of trying to portray something that either the world has said, this is what it means to be a husband. This is what it means to be a mother. But you're like, I don't feel that way. Are people going to feel something? Are they going to judge me? Are they going to ridicule me? Some will, because they're going to be resentful, like, yo, you fucking up the script. You're supposed to actually give away everything to your kids, and those who don't, what's wrong with you? Like, it's almost like you got the secret playbook, or you're stepping out of line. Like, you get back in line and be miserable with us. This is what we chose. And I'm just saying, if you are that person, you have subscribed to what society says this is what it takes to be a good boss. You lay down a law, you don't listen to your employees because you make more money. That's the way it goes. How has that been working out? Or as a parent, you do everything for your child and now you feel guilty for doing things for yourself. So you're like, I just won't do it. I'll just do everything for the kid. You're burnt out. You're short with your spouse. Y'all not getting it in because you're tired, and you should be tired. I do not take parenting lightly. I saw my parents, especially my mom, and I was like, she is a G. I'll take it. Maybe I'm not as big as a G she is. I will take that. But that's something I decided. And people do ridicule me or they do question me for that. They can have that. I feel great over here. And that's basically what this is. Like, life isn't black or white. Yes, I see parents with their kids. I'm like, that would be so cute. I wonder what me and Devon's child would look like, what they would be interested in, how it would be as a parent. Like, I have those thoughts. So I'm not like, no kids, F all the other stuff. Yes, I do have a void of that experience. It does not have to be black and white. It really doesn't. We're going to get into the gray because years ago, I have taken on that in order to be X, Y, and Z, whether it's a good person, a nice woman, a good daughter, there are certain things I have to do. There's certain boxes I have to check. And if other people aren't doing those things, they're bad, wrong. I feel we're all good. Like our souls are good. We have experiences that has altered us. Rightfully so, because life be lifing. That's just what it is. But I no longer want to subscribe to it's this way or the highway, because that's only gotten me to places of feeling stuck, being alone, frustrated, and kind of just sad, you know? There's this book that I use. It's a 90-day planner. It's called Goals. Crazy. Hang on one second. I'm going to grab it. This planner was created to teach habits of success and to mirror those who are considered crazy individuals that actually want to reach their dreams. It's almost like the planner in the beginning is like a life coach. And that's why, obviously, I like it, because it really walks you through not just, what is your goal? Go get it. Done. It's, yo, what you been doing with your time? How does that feel right now? Do you want more of this? Cool. How can we do that? Love questions. Hello, my name is Crystal, and I am the Queen of Questions. Page 15, there's a section that is titled My Life Will. It helps you better visualize how your life looks right now. And there's a wheel. Even if you Google Wheel of Life, I think. The categories are health, family, social, financial, educational, fun, and spiritual. And you basically walk through an exercise to determine how much of each of these are in your life right now. For me, I was very high on education, fun, spiritual, health, family, social, and then financial was a little bit lower. I'm a business owner. Bear with me. It was cool because that's not what my circle looked like when I first started this planner. This is my second planner. So I started probably 4 months ago with the first one. And again, being aware is the first step. We think we're good. Much like, who knows, like, I didn't go to college like everybody else did. Like, I didn't go away to a university and they talk about freshman 15. But I know about getting into a good relationship. You and your spouse is going out. Y'all eating real good. Clothes start fitting a little snug. That was me and my husband. You don't know until someone took a picture of us and I was like, yo, is that me? I knew when I put on those clothes, it felt a little different. But you just don't know. So having that awareness, for me, it took the picture. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just didn't know. I did not know. And that was the craziest part. Like, I knew my clothes fit differently, but I'm still like, nah. So how many of us are like in a job and it's like, nah, this job's fine, it's cool, like, you know, it pays the bills. All the while you're cussing people out. You are snapping, you're avoiding conversations. You are not even addressing the effery that's around you day to day. You're just like, I don't have the energy for it. I'm so done. Because if I do say something, I'm gonna snap. And then I'm gonna lose my job. you're already stuck. Like, that is a sign of being stuck. I'm here. I got you. What could you do to add like 5% to the area that is currently lacking in your life? I know you might not have this goal crazy 90-day planner, but those categories that I listed, where do you know in your heart that you're lacking? Or you weren't even aware that was a category that your brain just totally just cut off. If you're listening, you're already doing the educational piece. Do you understand that? Like, you're doing something. Having the awareness is awesome. That is the first step. But the second step is your abilities to do something. Are you able to Google the wheel of life? Yes. Are you able to look at the wheel? Yes. Are you able to order the Gold Crazy 90-day planner? Sure. It's on Amazon and they have their own website. So you're capable of doing a lot of things. When we think about adding 5% to the area that's lacking, I would say you're doing the 5% already by listening to this podcast. But even increasing the social aspect, sharing this podcast, growing that connection. Or if you're doing it with your family, sharing that connection with your family. If you feel better while listening, while sharing it, look at that. You're improving your health. Come on. Like, it's not hard. Having the awareness that there are things that we can do is such a gift. But also shouting ourselves out, tooting our own horn, there are things that we can do. And you're doing them. How dope does that feel? We don't know what we don't know. And when we start doing new things, we get to learn new things. And you get to learn different abilities. Oh, so you can actually listen to a podcast while you're in the shower? I did not know that. That's what I do. Oh, you can actually watch some of the podcasts on YouTube. I did not know that because I'm more of a visual person. This ain't on YouTube, just FYI. Expand your bubble. Your bubble has protected you. And it did you well. It did. But you are able to do more. And I don't mean more work. I don't mean extending yourself more. I mean being able to see what's available and you to light up because you're like, I could actually do that. And that makes me really happy. I get really excited when I'm able to do this new thing that I didn't even know I liked. Or you try something new and you're like, yo, that shit was trash. That's awesome. Because now you get to say no. You're still able to do stuff. Trying new things is not to find something that you like. Trying new things is to understand and recognize you are capable of so much more. But you didn't know. Now you do. Maybe this is your first time hearing this. Maybe this is the first time you felt something after hearing something like that. That's growth. You literally just hit play. And then it was. What other small adjustments can you make? Remember, it is not all or nothing. It is not black or white. The bigger picture is, what's the cost of not doing it? My mom and dad used to travel when me and my sisters were younger. And now my parents are like in their 60s. My dad wasn't the best at saving his money. My mom was a G, again, saving her money like crazy. I wish I would have picked up her traits. I'm still working on being a business owner. To all the people out here there that have a business or want to start a business, it is hard because I don't want to say no one. It is not openly discussed about the communication you have to have with your spouse, with your family. And money is a sore subject. So him and I have had multiple conversations of a saving, of which bills we each will pay. And because I left my corporate job, my pay was reduced significantly. Arbonne provided me a nice pay because of our hard work, me and my team. Shout out to y'all. Love y'all. And I'm thankful for that. But it did not match my corporate job. Me starting this business as a coach, as a podcaster, I'm still, shout out to my clients, y'all are dope. I'm still getting paid from Arbonne. I am doing well, but still not as much as my corporate job. It is getting there. But money's not everything, but you need it for certain things. Like money carries energy. Luckily for me, I have my husband who's able to help, able for him and I to have those difficult conversations about the money and me not feel so self-conscious, because I hated those conversations. I would set the intentions of I would set the intentions of our conversations of, what is the overall purpose of our meeting? Is it to make sure everything's paid and that we put money to the side? Is it to make me feel supported? Like I don't have to do it by myself because, hello, Black woman, we think we got to do everything our own. I got a whole husband. We all learning. I went on a tangent. My parents are older. My mom has wanted to travel. And my dad's like, I don't know. And she's like, that's the case. I got to go by myself. And I respect that because we only have one life. Like, she has worked so hard. They both have in their own way. I recognize that because he didn't have a lot of friends, where my mom, she had a couple girlfriends at work that she would go out here and there. My dad didn't. So he would share a lot of his frustrations with me and my sister. And I knew at a young age that this was not healthy for any of us, him or me and my sisters. And as a young child, hearing like the stresses or the fears from a full-on adult is effing stressful. It's like, why? I don't want to hear this shit. Like, as a child, what can I do? You're just downloading to feel better, I guess? I don't know. In a recent conversation with my therapist, I remember bringing this story up, and my therapist was like, how old were you? I was like, I was probably in my early teens. Like, I told my dad, I was like, this is not appropriate. You need to tell my mom, stop telling me this. Like, it just felt wrong. So this is something I'm still bringing up or addressing 20 years later. Even though I felt like I stood up as little Crystal, I think the bigger picture was, or is, there are so many things that we can do as humans within our abilities, with that awareness we have. With that being said, remember I told you it's 3 A's. What comes next is action. We know that change, confidence, or a shift happens when you do something. Anything that requires you to move your body in some way. It could be signing up for that class. As soon as you do, you now have told yourself, I'm that type of person that takes this class. This class is going to give me structure, steps on how to get to where I want to go. I am now a person who values education and will take the time to say, hey, I don't know this subject. I don't know this category, but I'm going to sit my tail in this chair so that someone who has been there, someone who knows more than me, can share their gems with me. As soon as you take just that simple step, you listening is taking that simple step. I am a person who listens to a podcast so that I can get coached by a dope career and mindset coach from someone who was stuck in her corporate career for years, from someone who was so depressed and just self-loathing about, how did I get here? What did I do wrong? Shame of, I wanted to go to X-ray school. I wanted this job, but now I got it. And it is literally slowly killing me, and I can feel it. I'm trying to save face. I'm trying to smile and bear it. I'm trying to just roll with the punches because I'm not weak and I don't want people to judge me. But yet, we're still here. That experience was the hardest experience I have ever had in my life. I'm thankful for that because it highlighted something that was already in me that I just forgot about unexpectedly, that I had buried under other people's opinions, under other job titles, under a certain level of income, under scrubs, under professional wear. And we do it. We all do it, some form or fashion. And I do not regret any of that because it has put something inside of me that I couldn't buy. I couldn't get anywhere else, I don't think, of realizing who the F I am. There's only one Crystal. My ideas, my energy, my insight, no one can replicate that. But if I dim it, if I hide it, where's the power in that? So when I show up, because I listen to the podcast, because I've decided to read books and use those authors as my mentor, as my coach, because I was signing up for workshops, because I ended up paying for a business coach, because I ended up signing up for another program so I could be mentored for 8 straight weeks to develop this podcast. I am the person who signs up for things to get shit done. That's my action. So for you, your action could be you like learning new things. So you do read that book. You do listen to podcasts. And that does serve you well. But this journey of just coming into who we already are or who we're meant to be is ongoing. And what worked before can enlighten you. But then what's going to get you to the next step? And right now, we're just focus on the first step. You could be someone who really enjoys the company of others to kind of talk you through a situation. That's what I like. But maybe you're not there yet because you're so insecure of your ideas. You think, oh, if I say this, people are going to judge it. Or if I say this, someone's going to steal it. One, no one can really steal who you are. They can imitate it. They could try. Maybe for like a couple days. I've had people copy posts that I did years ago, take all my words, change the emoji from a black emoji to a white one. I've had that happen multiple times. They did it for a little bit. We did have a conversation. I can't stop that person, but they're not me. So even though they try to take the messaging, people didn't receive it well from them. It's not them. It doesn't have the same energy. You, not Crystal. Like, there is only one you. That is your superpower. You cannot F that up. There's no way in the world. It's you. But you have to make a move. So what is coming up for you right now? Wherever you are, either you have to write it out, type it out, speak it out. Maybe you might feel encouraged to email me, because I want to hear it. Did your brain make an excuse of making a move? I'm too busy. That's normal. That happens. If it did, just invite your brain to come along and be like, chill out, brain. We got this. Like, you are very smart. You're very insightful. You come up with very clear ways of how I can do things. Don't fight it. Invite it. Oh, that's a good one. So as you're inviting your brain to join into this party, ask the question, what do you need to make this easier? Is it like 5 extra minutes to kind of jot it down really quick? Is it you need time to like walk around the neighborhood because that's where you get your best ideas? What do you need to make this easier? Instructions? Are you like me where you kind of need a step-by-step and then you kind of flow with it and not be so rigid of I have to do step 1 before I get to step 2? But just like, okay, I see the flow. I see where we're going. Cool. Remember, it's not black or white. It's not all or nothing. Maybe you need support. Maybe you need someone there to be like, oh, wow, you did step 1. That's awesome. How did it feel? Like, that's good. What's step 2 going to be like? Instead of someone's like, oh, you doing that? Okay, well, enjoy it. Yeah, that's for another conversation, y'all. Maybe it's clarification. Maybe you think you know what you need to do, but you got to ask the question. That's dope too. The answer should require you to move and not just think. That is not where your superpower comes from. Staying stagnant, not moving. Just, let me think. Like, no, we need to move. Have you ever had a conversation with someone you just met at the store or like at the airport, even though like it's COVID? So maybe it was like years ago, but y'all just complimented each other on like your shoes, or they're like, oh, I like your hair, or they loved your hair or something like that. And you realize y'all just end up going and going and going. Like 34 minutes have passed. Y'all had the best conversation. Has that ever happened to you? If so, it wasn't because they said something and then you like, ooh, I need to think of something very clever so we can keep this going. Y'all were just going. You were just being your natural self. It did not come from you thinking. This is the same. So how do you know you're stuck? Have you consciously or unconsciously decided you have to work in this position, even though you decline invitations to gatherings with friends, or you no longer work out as much as you used to, you no longer watch movies or downtime with your family, or your sleep is off, you don't eat at regular times, you kind of just grab it and go. The goal is not for you to leave. And this could be a position for a relationship. It could be in your career. You're not able to speak up for the things you need in that career. You're not getting that promotion you know you should have gotten already because you picked up all of those task requirements. You got things from different departments that you're doing. Just, hey, y'all, I'm here. Look at all the stuff I can do. Y'all gonna give me that promotion? No. You have allowed people to just dump and dump and dump and dump. And then that dumping continues at home. You're picking up this, you're cleaning that, you're cooking this. When is enough enough? You get to decide. What's your next move? Hey peeps. Again, I really wish I could express to each of you how much it means to me that you click play on this podcast and you listen to the end. Seriously, thank you, thank you, thank you. The gems that were dropped in today's episodes are, number one, you are not your titles. Whether that's a job title or the title of being a parent, who do you want to be? Not what do you want to do or make others do. Number two, your skills are transferable. Don't limit yourself by putting yourself in a box or a stupid title. Number three, life isn't black or white. It's not all or nothing. Look for the gray or AKA the middle ground. Number four, if you're feeling good, like good, while listening, you are adding positivity to your health. Number five, we don't know what we don't know. And when we start doing new things, we get to learn new things. And that's why we are still here living this life. Number six, trying new things is not to find something you like. Trying new things is to understand and recognize you're capable of so much more. Number seven, your brain comes up with excuses to not make a move out of fear or having hesitations. Just invite your brain along for the discussion. Your brain is insightful and is capable of coming up with clear ideas. Don't fight it, invite it. Number eight, as you're inviting your brain into the party, ask your brain, what do you need to make this easier for you? If you want to know more of my tips of how to unstuck yourself, be sure you are subscribed to Unstuck Yourself with Crystal Simmons podcast today. Also, don't forget to rate it and follow us on Spotify, Apple, or Google so you can continue to listen. When life keeps lifing, I'm here to share the tips and takeaways you can utilize in everyday life to keep you unstuck. And if you had another oh shit moment while listening to the episode, then share this message with a friend or two. Sharing is caring, y'all. If you laughed a little during this episode, then again, rate it, share it, continue to listen. Every episode, I want to share suggestions and tips to your career and life questions. The easiest way to do that is for you to get involved and to send them by emailing Crystal, CRYSTAL, at crystalclearpurposes.com. Also follow me on Instagram. I share some live videos and I like having sidebar conversations as well. Find me, I'm at Crystal Clear Purposes. You can also join our Unstuck Yourself private Facebook group to stay connected with us. Sending you love and light, and I can't wait to talk soon. Until then, stay unstuck.